Zafiro. Today I'm going to softly share some scientific findings, recent ones, so you are very smart. How one very prominent scientist would say, science bitch. But first, hello, Germany. Savaste. Hi. 안녕하세요. That's Korean, North Korean too. I think. Ahoj. That's Czech and Slovak. Hello. That's English. You know that one. Ciao. Italiano. And hola. That's Spanish. So I always like to update myself on what's happening, what's real, what's fiction. There is lots of stuff happening right now. So let's read some, short paragraphs from scientific journals that are made for softly sharing. So number first, quantum proteins, to make your muscles go inside living cells. Scientists turned fluorescent proteins into tiny quantum sensors. Nice. Think of them as qubits, bits that can be both 0 and 1, now living in biology. They can feel faint electric and magnetic fields that normal tools miss. If this scales, doctors could watch chemistry inside a single cell in real time without destroying it. Physics meets medicine, not in lab fridge, but inside life itself. It's early, fragile, and very nerdy, but it hints at a world where diagnoses are not molecule by molecule, quietly are done molecule by molecule quietly from the inside. That would be insane. If you could have specialized proteins to detect insulin and stuff, and you can give data all the time, that would be very good. Depends of course on the price, but everything gets cheaper and cheaper. Number 2, Asteroid benu's ingredients. A spoonful of space dust from asteroid Bennu carried the full set of DNA and RNA bases, the alphabet of life. That's what everything is made out of. No cells, no organisms, just raw letters, perfectly preserved in rock that formed before Earth had oceans. That's the main point, of finding where the life comes from. If we can find DNA somewhere else, because that was before, the organisms formed. This doesn't prove life began in space, but it does say our chemistry kit was stocked by cosmos. Early Earth didn't invent the ingredients, it assembled them. The next time a meteor streaks across the sky, imagine it as delivery truck, tossing down seeds that only a warm planet can coax into stories and cells. Yeah, that's one of the theories, There is theory of abiogenesis, where you have molecules and you give them optimal environment and they will form DNA. Nobody done it before, but it's a theory, and it could happen on another planet, and the form gets tossed there, or all the planets, but somewhere it prospers, somewhere it doesn't. So we don't know yet where it all started. Number 3, Euclid maps in the dark. The Euclid Space Telescope is making an enormous map of the universe. Millions of galaxies, each one slightly warped by invisible mass. The warping gravitational lensing, so-called gravitational lensing, lets us weight the dark matter we can't see. With enough galaxies, patterns emerge where matter clumps where it flows, how fast the universe is stretching, it's always stretching. It's cartography for the unseen. The goal isn't a pretty picture, though the pictures are glorious. It's to ask a heavy question. If most of the universe is dark matter and dark energy, what exactly is doing the heavy lifting? Yeah, dark matter is being studied a lot. Number 4, Mars isn't red the way we thought. We've called Mars the red planet for ages. But a specific paint matters. New analysis point to iron oxides with water trapped in their structure, very hydride, playing a big role that tweaks the story of how dust formed and weathered. It suggests more watery chemistry, even if no flowing rivers exist today. The color is the same, but the recipe changed. Planetary science is like forensic cooking, same stew, new spice list. Every correction helps us guess what Mars could have been when it was warmer, wetter, and less lonely. Just like me. Number 5. The dry mystery of Martian streaks. Those dark lines that creep down the Martian slopes. Each warm season looked like briny water. That's like, I think you make beer out of that. Is it that? Brinery? Yeah. It's brewery. I don't know. Tempting. But the best evidence now says they are dry flows, fine dust avalanches masquerading as watermarks. Disappointing, maybe. Clarifying, definitely. Ruling out false hope tightens the hunt for true habitability. That's a nice word, habitability. Mars keeps teasing with almost water, almost warmth, almost air. Real science narrows patiently until the maybes give way to a yes or a better question. That's true. Number 6, lots of discoveries on Mars. Seasonal ozone on Mars. Mars has weather, but not like ours. In the thin cold air, an ozone layer pops up in winter, especially around the poles, sculpted by a fierce vortex. It's a chemistry choreographed by sunlight and season. Ozone is a clue, not a comfort. It says gases are moving, building, breaking, reshaping like red sapphire. For future explorers, it's part caution label, part forecast. For scientists, it's a reminder even dead worlds breathe in slow motion. And if you watch long enough, you see the lungs. Yeah. This is like poppy science. Pliancy genes in the eye. In stressed retinas, researchers found pliancy genes, silent programs that wake up when cells are in trouble. Nice. They don't fix everything, but they loosen the genome, making change possible. Interesting. In disease, that pliancy might be coaxed into repair. Imagine a drug that gently invites damaged eye cells to try again. That's like a lot of research right now. Regeneration isn't magic, it's permission, yes. If we learn how to grant it safely, blindness could shift from permanent to negotiable. That's like if you study a little bit of biology. biology, the DNA has like telomeres, and every time it repairs something, it like shortens, and that's how you age. If we can like extend that, I think the body can regenerate. I don't think like there wouldn't be scientific possibility of people like Wolverine or something. Not that fast, of course, but like Deadpool. But I don't think it would be impossible theoretically with bioengineering in the future. Of course, we cannot do that like right now, or some breeding, which is not allowed. But I think there is lots of what cells can do. Number 8. Ancient water in young galaxies. Astronomers spotted water vapor astonishingly early in the universe, within the first billion years. That means oxygen and hydrogen were teaming up fast in the glow of newborn stars. Water doesn't mean life, it means chemistry that's friendly to life. Had a head start. The early universe wasn't just hot and violent, it was also already mixing the drinks we still sip today. Clouds, ice, steam, and someday oceans. Number 9. The brain's flexible maps. When sight is lost, the brain doesn't let the visual cortex idle. It reassigns the real estate to touch and sounds. That's common. Touch and sound. People that are blind like hear much better. Braille reading lights up visual areas. Echoes becomes shapes. This plasticity is not a trick, it's a principle. The brain is dynamic city that rezones blocks to meet demand for therapy and rehab. That's called. It means training can redirect traffic, and with the right practice, detours become highways. It's the same. They are now doing the research. I don't know if it's there for people that use ChatGPT, how their brains are like forming differently. That you don't have to like think about stupid stuff. You can focus on important stuff, like what you want instead of how you want to write it. Giant bacteria you can see in Caribbean mangroves. Scientists found bacteria up to 2 centimeters long. No microscope required. They pack their DNA in compartments, a clever cheat that lets them grow huge without breaking the rules of diffusion. Biology loves edge cases because they redraw edges. That was my stomach. If a bacterium can be the size of an eyelash, what else have we declared impossible because we hadn't looked in the right mud? It's insane that we are still finding new things. It's so insane. It's of course much harder now, but is it really? Like back scientists like wasted, but not wasted time with like Icarus theory instead of biology. Instead of microbiology theory. Editing memory in mice, number 11. By tagging and reactivating specific neuron groups with light, researchers implanted and altered memories in mice. The animals behaved as if something happened that didn't. This is unsettling and illuminating. Memory isn't a video file. It's a living pattern, rewritten each time it's recalled. Yes, that makes sense. Understanding that plastic code could help treat trauma and degenerative diseases, and forces us to ask how much of our past is a story our brain keeps editing. Everything is fake. Oh, you really want the conspiracy theory videos, so I will be doing some. I'm recording during the day, sorry. One-shot Crispr for cholesterol. Oh my god, that would be nice. A single Crispr treatment in early trials knocked down LDL cholesterol by switching off a liver gene that drives it up. If longer studies hold, millions might someday trade daily pills for a once and done edit. It's insane that we can edit, like you can. They are like getting rid of Down syndrome too. They can in like fetus just delete the chromosome. It's powerful medicine with heavy ethics. Permanent changes raise permanent questions, but for people genetically doomed to heart disease, the ability to disarm a risk at the source is breathtaking. You are breathtaking, and I love you. And you should subscribe, like, and comment what the name of your cat, and if you don't have a cat, what name you would give a cat. Number 13. Tardigrade DNA armor. Tardigrades, the tiny, adorable things of biology, make proteins that wrap DNA and protect it from radiation. When scientists put those proteins into other cells, the cells got tougher. They pulled themselves by their bootstraps. Space agencies are listening. Shielding astronauts at the molecular level could complement metal and plastic. And radiation is very huge problem. Nature already solved many problems we face in space. We just have to ask politely and borrow wisely. Number 14. AI found antibiotics. Finally something useful. Artificial intelligence combat vast chemical spaces and proposed molecules that kill superbugs resistant to our best drugs. The resistance is getting insane. In 200 years, I don't think any antibiotics is going to work. We should one day do video about microbiology, because I know something about it. I studied medicine for 6 years before I got kicked out. A little Anglore. One's candidate has lab bite and is moving forward. One candidate has a lab bite and is moving forward. And the antibiotic pipeline has been dry for decades. AI turns the trickle into a map. It doesn't replace clinical trials, of course not, or safety checks. It accelerates the what should we even try phase, exactly where time is often lost. 15. Sleep as brain housekeeper. During deep sleep, cerebrospinal fluid pulses through the brain. Yes, washing away metabolic waste, including proteins linked to dementia. So if you sleep, you will not be demented that fast. You aren't just resting, you are rinsing. Skimping on sleep is like skipping garbage day. The mess adds up quietly. Prioritizing sleep is not a luxury habit. It's maintenance, as essential as brushing your teeth. That's why you have to listen to my video every night to fall asleep. Except the brush is a wave that cleans your mind. 16. The earliest big black hole. Astronomers found a supermassive black hole less than 500 million years after the Big Bang. Heavier than theories like how did it grow so fast? Maybe collapsed direct gas clouds. Maybe mergers on fast forward. The details matter because black holes sculpt galaxies. Of course, they have such a heavy mass. If giants formed early, then the cosmic city plan was written sooner than we thought. With black holes as planned architects, of course, it makes sense. Like after the Big Bang, when everything expanded, some clumps would like stuck together and create the critical mass. It makes sense. 17. Superconductivity but squeezed. A material showed superconductivity at room temperature. That would be nice, but only under crushing pressure. You won't find in a wall socket. It's not a power grid miracle yet. It is a proof of principle. The recipe exists. The challenge is to bake it without a planetary press. Yeah, if we get there, lossless transmission, levitating trains, tiny MRI machines, that would be like, yeah, the world's electrical budget changes overnight. That would be nice. Plastic eating fungi, yeah, I read about that. In controlled test, certain fungi chew through common plastics, turning long chains into simpler pieces. Scaling this is hard. The real world is messy, mixtures are stubborn, and time is money. Time is money, Mr. Krabs. But biology eats what it can. It's like plastics is carbon, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Engineering the appetite and giving it the right conditions could turn landfills from endings into ecosystems or careful digestion. Number 19. Deep sea carbon rivers. Sensors crawling the abyss found undersea currents quietly carrying carbon-rich waters into long-term storage. It means the ocean's conveyor belts for carbon are more complex and sometimes more helpful than our surface models assume. This doesn't solve climate change, but it refines the ledger. Better accounting leads to better policy and better odds. And I think the last one, the 20, science as a team sport of time. A massive study of papers showed the same discoveries often pop up in different places at nearly the same time. It was like that for ages. I read this one and it makes sense. It makes sense. When the tools are ready and the questions mature, ideas ripen together. That's not death, it's inevitability. The lone genius is real, but so is the network, the century, the slow accumulation of hints. Progress isn't a sprint, it's a crowd moving one step then another until the path looks obvious in hindsight. It's always like that. There is like one discovery and it happens on multiple pieces of the globe. Now it's a little bit different. But in the past, like if you researched calculus in, I don't know what was it here, like 1600 or 1602, it doesn't matter because it didn't come to you. You know, it was very hard to get somewhere. Now it's instant, you know, like everybody who's watching this video is watching it. If you could see me right now, I think like 5 seconds maybe later max on the other side of the planet, even like less. So anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you today. Just a little whispering to make you smarter. I just hope you are sleeping already. And don't forget that I love you, and I will see you in the next one.